Alan Hall. Bonnamie at 17-8-3, those 17 wins, 11 by knockout. Hall at 26-15-2, of those 26 wins, 14 by knockout. But this is Trevor Berbick and Alain Barkley as we head towards the 8th and final round in Montreal. There's Abe Pervin in the background as Alain Bonnamie warms up for his final with Stéphane LaRouche. Talk about an encyclopedia of boxing and also knowing, deciphering fighters. That man Abe Pervin sitting down.
He's seen it all though.
Wow.
You know?
Incredible. The final round here in Montreal between these two legends is underway. Alain Barkley needs a knockout, and that was a knockout punch, but by Trevor Berbick, and I don't know how Barkley is still standing.
I know, he's taking big shots. But again, that was sort of like a slapping, clubbing punch. If Trevor Berbick would put a little bit of hip in that, a little bit of body into that, this fight would still not be on.
Be interesting to see. There were some boos here in the third round, but interesting to see how this crowd reacts. About 4,000 strong here at the end of this fight. Will they cheer? What will they do? I think these guys will get quite an ovation.
I think they will get an ovation because these guys are two warriors, very experienced men coming here and fighting this hard in front of Montreal fans. They're going to be appreciated.
Berbick jogs towards Barkley. Berbick is in control of his fight on the scorecards. Barkley hanging on.
See a lot of swelling over that left eye of Alain Barkley now from those deafening right hands of Berbick.
It was swollen before the fight even began.
It's more swollen now. You can't even see his pupils right now.
Midway through round 8, the final round. Berbick has Barkley exactly where he wants him, along the ropes, and a good right hand there by Berbick.
Well, that was a big right hand too.
How do you recover from a fight like this?
Alain Barkley is a true warrior. He's taking a lot of big punches here, but just to show you the type of fighter he is, he gets hit, walks back, comes forward, and they're just trading.
Sometimes in fighting there's a lot of useless jabs. Jabs meant to just keep away your opponent. 70% of these punches thrown have been bombs.
All power punches.
No.
All power punches.
Under 35 seconds to go in the 8th and final round, and this will be our third fight, barring a knockout, that will go to decision as Trevor Berbick punishes Alain Barkley in the corner with time running out, and Barkley comes back with a solid right hand.
I think the big thing in this fight, Dino, is you just see the size difference. Again, Alain Barkley, a former middleweight, super middleweight, light heavyweight. He's definitely not a heavyweight, whereas Trevor Berbick, you made a point that has always been a heavyweight.
This fight between Trevor Berbick and Alain Barkley goes to decision. And Berbick feels he's won it, and so do we.
I think he can be pretty confident.
The judges for this fight between Trevor Berbick and, of course, Alain Barkley, Jean Lapointe, Sylvain Leblanc, Emilien Nadeau. And we await their decision. Christian Tétrault will be announcing the decision, but they are fairly confident in Trevor Berbick's corner. Berbick also was tagged with quite a few shots. At no point, as he did against Shane Sutcliffe, did we get the impression that Berbick was in any sort of trouble.
No. Trevor Berbick has definitely got a heavyweight chin.
And he will definitely give George Foreman a battle as he may have given George Foreman a battle 20 years ago.
Yeah, I think so. Again, George Foreman isn't the blazing speedster.
No.
But he throws the same type of punch, a very clubbing and heavy-handed puncher as well. George Foreman is.
That may be the most entertaining boxing news conference, pre-fight news conference that anyone will ever attend.
Both men can talk, that's for sure.
Here's a special moment, folks. Berbick and Alain Barkley. Legends.
Two legends. They're going to sit down after this and they'll talk about it. They'll be good friends. And like you said, it goes down to sportsmanship. This is what they do for a living.
Berbick, relatively quiet throughout the whole fight, and now he's talking up a storm in the corner. He's just unleashing with the mouth.
It's time to talk now.
It's true. He spoke quite a bit to Sutcliffe.
He did.
Not tonight.
But I think the difference was he knows Iran Barkley and the experience that Barkley has. He knew that Shane Sutcliffe didn't have that experience, so he was going to yap him up and take Shane out of his game.
Good point. Inside the ring is our Charles-Andre Marchal, who will be chatting with tonight's winner. And also in the ring, Christian Tétrault with the announcement.
Voici la décision. Here's the decision. Le juge Lapointe marque 73-79. Judge Lapointe scores at 73-79. Le juge Leblanc, pointage 73-79. Judge Leblanc scores at 73-79. Et le juge Nadeau inscrit 73-79. Judge Nadeau scores at 73-79. Vainqueur par décision unanime, winner by unanimous decision, Trevor Berbick.
Berbick now 48-10-1. Of those 48 wins, 33 by knockout. Alain Barkley drops to 43-18-1. 27 of those wins by knockout. And it's just a matter of time now before that man, Trevor Berbick, the Canadian heavyweight champion, goes up against George Foreman. Now Charles-Andre Marchal is standing by, and let's go to him. He's got the Canadian champion.
Comeback trail, and you hear that George Foreman may be next. But tell me first about this fight. Thank you, Lord. That was good for me. I was expecting to take him out, but he proved that he was in shape and he's skilled. I'm looking for a good professional to warm. This is a tune-up fight. The guy does his thing, he take a shot and come back. I thought he would be out of shape, but he surprised me. Next time I'll train with professional. I'll train an amateur for this Japanese Olympic kid. And I'm playing around too much because I don't want to hurt him. But this is a good tune-up. You see me next time, mean and deadly. This guy is tough. He's a shoot-down world champ. Don't underestimate him. They come to fight. So I'm glad for the process because I know how good I am. I can get a score, and my skill is there, my reflex is there. I can do it. You got to work yourself slowly. Don't let me see how good you are to get to the big one. I'll get there.
Well, thank you very much.
I can fight.
I wish you good luck.
Thank you
All
very much.
right. Alors voilà, Trevor Berbick donc est toujours aussi enthousiaste. Ça prend une question, puis on a une réponse très longue. Alors donc, Trevor. Thank you very much, Charles-Andre Marchal, with a very entertaining Trevor Berbick, who upped his mark to 48-10-1 with 33 knockouts here tonight against Alain Barkley. And just looking at him, he looked a lot more in shape, and therefore, when he goes up against a George Foreman, if that fight materializes, because, Dale, anything can happen in boxing. All of a sudden, you think you've got a fight, and it falls through. But if it does happen, I think Berbick will be in even better shape that time around.
I'll have to agree with you. He'll be in better shape because he knows that he has to be in better shape to go up against a man like George Foreman. But he looked young. He's bouncing around after the ring. He's talking well. I think he was in good shape for this fight because he threw a lot of punches, a lot of heavy punches, which makes you more tired than throwing the quicker ones. But he will be in better shape for George Foreman.
Again, we saw Trevor Berbick really not being stung by any of the punches thrown by Alain Barkley, and we mentioned before that Shane Sutcliffe also threw some bombs. So how do you fight him? How do you hurt Trevor Berbick?
more punches in bunches. I think you have to hit him with the jab, then finish with the right hand, go down to the body. I ran Barkley, even though a good effort, still 1-2 punches in a row, maybe 3 in a row, but you've got to sting Trevor Berbick with 4 or 5 punch combinations.
And of course, I think we saw the end of the career of Alain Barkley, one of the great middleweights. He upset Thomas Hearns. He was a warrior inside the ring. He was a warrior tonight here against Trevor Berbick, overmatched. His knees never buckled, but then again, he never established any sort of flow in that fight and never took his fight to Trevor Berbick.
No, I definitely hope we saw the last fight of Alain Barkley tonight. Again, a 3-time world champion. I'd like to see him go out and be safe.
Certainly we, I hope, have not seen the last of Stefan Ouellette and Davey Hilton Jr. The last time we were sitting here, we saw an entertaining fight that wasn't as long as the previous one. And we're going to take a look at some of the highlights. Don Majeski that night said the first fight ended in a question mark. The second fight ended with an exclamation point. And I think that was rather accurate as Hilton continued his assault. Pretty much took up where he left off in the final round of fight number 1, Dale.
Yeah, look at that jab. 4 jabs in a row. Now that's the kind of thing you have to do when you want to be a true champion. Look at that. 2 stiff jabs again. And everything comes off of that jab. Ouellette thrown here, tries to go down to the body. A very good punch, but that's it. He's finished there, where Davey Hilton doesn't.
There's that devastating left hand that hurt Ouellette. It was that first one that hurt him, and right now Ouellette is nowhere inside the ring mentally, and Hilton floors him with the right hand, but it was that first punch. We'll see it from a different angle here.
It was the first hook that caught Ouellette. He was out after that moment, and that finished Ouellette up. Very unfortunate, but Davey Hilton came into this fight very prepared and knew exactly what he had to do.
There's the 2 Davey Hilton, senior and junior. Alex right next to that big family hug. Good to see.
A lot of unity in that family, and they obviously trained together and worked hard together.
Still to come, of course, tonight's final between Alain Bonnamie and Edward Allen Hall. But let's go to Charles-Andre Marchal as a very special guest.
Thank you very much, Dino. Yvon Michel, great fight night tonight here on the Viewer's Choice. And obviously, this last one proved once again that Trevor Berbick is on his comeback trail.
Yes, it was a kind of anticlimax to see 2 welterweights going all the way. It was good fights for Fatih Moussaoui and Erkki Velos, and although I believe that Berbick put up a good fight, a good show, but because of the weight and because of the speed of the 2 fighters, so we maybe the credit that we could have given to Berbick was a kind of loss, but Berbick won almost every round. He punched short, he punched with power. He's a strong man that is very, very difficult to move. And what I found out, I realized tonight that he boxed with both hands. And you remember when he fought Sutcliffe, it was mainly only a one-hand fighter. So yeah, he's still going to make some noise, Berbick.
Now let's talk about Kivelos and Moussaoui. They obviously get out a great show tonight. Both of them, for the first time in their career, actually no, for Moussaoui was the first. For Kivelos, it was not exactly a first, but it was not exactly usual. They didn't win by knockout, but it's not because they didn't try, and definitely they had opponents that gave a good showing tonight.
Exactly, for Kivelos, it was the first time 8th round, and Fatih first time 6th round. They had opponent who came here and tried to win. They could have give up earlier in the fight and nobody would have complained. No, they came here, they tried from the beginning to the end, and that way we could see the real stuff of what is Fatih is made, what Kivelos is made of. Both they got speed, they're both intelligent, and they both have a great future.
In the case of Moussaoui, I was telling some friends, I said, this is the first time I've seen the defensive skills of Moussaoui, because he never gives us a chance to see his defensive skills. And tonight we saw that he could really do some good defense work.
When you have opponent who come from Maryland, you always can expect good opposition. And yes, Fatih, it's a full package. And now it's just a question of some refinement, some little touch up here and there, but he's got the whole package. And also, I believe Kivelos also.
Now, Jean-François Bergeron was doing a comeback tonight. It was his first time in a long time. It was a fourth rounder. He won again by knockout. What do you make of his fight?
He was very rusty. In the first round, he forgot a lot of fundamentals in boxing, but he regrouped in the second, and he did very good after that. So it was a good fight for him for his comeback, and we will see a lot of good thing of Jean-François for the next couple months.
Now, Yvon, what are we expecting for the next fight? Alain Bonnamie coming back against Edward Allen Hall, a very serious opponent who gave a lot of trouble to Stéphane Ouellet, not once, but twice.
We can't pick up a winner. It's a toss-up before the fight. You look at the record, you look at the style of both boxers. We know that both, they're going to try hard from the beginning to the end. They are both fighters, so they're not going to spend a lot of time to study each other. So I believe it's going to be a crowd pleaser, and I hope Alain will win, but it's a tough one.
Yvon Michel, thank you very much for putting on a great show for us tonight here live from Montreal. Back to Dino.
Thank you very much, Charles-Andre Marchand. And as you heard, the next fight, Edward Allen Hall going up against Alain Bonnamie. We told you that Edward Allen Hall had been training, or has been training in Montreal for about a month now. He likes to tell you how he thrives on an all-out shootout, and that he's gone eyeball to eyeball against many of the big guns, such as Alain Barkley, Reggie Johnson, Steve Collins, and Carl Daniels, just to name a few. But Hall will always be remembered by Montreal fans for his sensational knockdown of Stéphane Ouellet in the dying seconds of their unforgettable December '96 slugfest, which left Stéphane sprawled out on all fours with only 8 seconds left in the final round. Then Hall had yet another crack at Ouellet in September of '98 in a second action-packed face-off, which went the scheduled distance, with Ouellet once again emerging with a unanimous but hard-earned victory. And he is an opponent of value, of choice here against Alain Bonnamie. There was always that criticism of Alain Bonnamie not being able to really shed the image of a kickboxer, but he's done great strides. He's made some great strides in shedding that image.
He has made some great strides, and the big thing about Alain is he's always willing to work at it too. He doesn't sit back and let things come to him. He goes out there and he works for them.
He holds the distinction of being the first and only fighter ever to have defeated Davey Hilton, a feat he accomplished back in 1990. They fought again in 1996, this time to a draw, followed by a rubber match in 1997 with Hilton copping a close verdict. Since then, Alain has moved up to the 168-pound category. Will that help him, Dale?
I think so. Maybe he's more comfortable at 168. 160 might be too tough to make. If he's more comfortable, move up to 168 and fight stronger instead of fighting weaker.
Alain Bonnamie, a lot of determination, a lot of heart. Probably one of the more charismatic boxers in this city, and really a fan favorite. Not gifted, not with the most overwhelming natural abilities one can imagine one should have in his position, but nevertheless he makes up for it with in other areas such as heart, determination, and hard work. Also, we'd like to hear a veteran comment from a veteran individual, and we're talking about Abe Pervin. He'll talk about both of the boxers here tonight, Alain Bonnamie and Ed Hall.
Against Alain Bonnamie against Hall. Alain Bonnamie, to start with, is in very, very good shape. And Hall likes to wear down the opponents over the period of rounds, and when he gets down to the 8th, 9th, 10th round, he thinks he's got them going because they're not in top shape. But Alain Bonnamie is going to surprise him. He's in very good shape, and we have a lot of technical work to do in the corners in between rounds to adjust every round as it comes out. And each time where we have to make an adjustment, we make the adjustment as we see fit. Hall is a good boxer. He's a tough boxer. He's a very good puncher, and he knows lengthwise. And he's a mover, and he knows how to use that ring. And it should be a hell of a good fight.
Dino Sisto alongside Dale Brown here tonight in Montreal, bringing you the English version of this fight. And of course, viewer's choice on the French side, we have Jean-Paul Chartrand and Eric Lucas. Eric Lucas will be featured in the next boxing program here in Montreal on the 9th of September here at the Molson Center. Lucas, of course, has had a string of victories, and he's a fighter to watch.
He is definitely a fighter to watch. It's an elimination fight. He wins this fight. He's got a world title next. It's a big step for Eric, and he's going to be working hard for it.
Hey, if you win your next fight in September, you have a world title bout as well waiting for you.
Same thing. Eric and I are in very similar places right now in our careers, and we're both going to go out there and win world titles for Montreal.
Could be an interesting one in September, as tonight's final will be interesting as well, as Edward Allen Hall is already inside the ring. He hails from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, with a record of 26-15-2, 14 knockouts. Right now, we're taking a look at Alain Bonnamie, as he slowly makes his way towards the ring.
Allen looking very serious, ready to get down to the business at hand with Edward Allen Hall.
Un combat de 10 rounds dans la catégorie des super moyens. The next bout, a 10-round fight in the super middleweight division. Dans le coin bleu, in the blue corner, portant la culotte verte et pesant 162 livres, wearing the green trunks and weighing 162 pounds, une fiche de 26 victoires, dont 14 knockouts, 15 défaites et 2 nuls, a record of 26 wins, 14 knockouts, 15 losses and 2 draws, the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Edward Allen Hall. Dans le coin rouge, in that red corner, portant la culotte noire et pesant 162 livres, wearing the black trunks and weighing 162 pounds, avec une fiche de 17 victoires, dont 11 knockouts, 8 défaites et 3 nuls, with a record of 17 wins, 11 knockouts, 8 losses and 3 draws, aspirant numéro 1 au titre canadien, number 1 contender for the Canadian title de Montréal, Québec, Alain Bonnamie. L'arbitre de referee Tony Crivello et les juges, messieurs Sylvain Leblanc, Emilien Nadeau et Jerry Simpson.
Trim, and of course Bonnamie across the front. Hall in the green trunks as Tony Crivello gets this fight underway. Just a little reminder, Arturo Gatti, local Montrealer, will fight Reyes Munoz August 14th. That fight is available on viewer's choice, and Arturo Gatti, believe it or not, should be here in the fall fighting in Montreal. At least Interbox is working on that. We may see Arturo Gatti in the fall. This fight is underway. Dino Sisto and Dale Brown here ringside, bringing you tonight's action. A very special presentation prior to this fight. The latest news concerning the recovery of this Montreal boxer is very encouraging. He may be released as early as tomorrow from hospital in Saint Jerome, and will rejoin his family here in Montreal. Involved in a traffic accident, Hercules Cavellos, who we saw prior tonight, or at least was a hero, scene of the accident, pulling Grant from the car, and Grant's preschool daughter, and she's doing fine. She wasn't hurt in the accident. Only sustained broken ribs. early stages of this fight, round number 1, and so far, pretty even. Fighters checking each other out.
Like usual, they're checking each other out, and I thought Alain might come out a little busier. He hasn't been in the ring since December 12th, 98. I thought he might come out and be a little bit anxious like Jean-Francois, but he's fighting a smart fight. He's fighting very defensively and throwing good crisp punches right now.
And right there, Bonnamie connects with a nice left hand. Bonnamie, that is, the pursuer in this fight.
Yeah, I think we'll see that throughout the fight, Dino. I think that Edward Allen Hall is going to be coming back, trying to counterpunch a little bit more like he did against Stéphane Ouellet. Bonnamie is going to have to bring it.
It's a big fight for Edward Allen Hall as well, as the last fought here May 28th. Stayed the whole month in Montreal. He likes it here. Would like to get an invite again next time out in September. So he wants to impress the people here who have put this fight together. Interbox on Viewer's Choice, brought to you by Video Way. You can see firsthand here that Hall is a little better technically.
I think so. Moving around, moving laterally with his footwork, definitely. But this is the type of fight Alain likes. He likes to be the pursuer. He likes to be busy, and he likes to hurt his opponents.
Round 1 into the books here. This one is scheduled for 10 rounds. Bonnamie 17-8-3 with 11 knockouts. He has an offer to fight Joe Kazaki, who is, of course, the WBO champion with a record of 27-0. Hall trained during the last month at the Hilton Gym.
And I think that's going to give him an advantage. Training in Montreal, getting used to the people, getting used to the city. It's going to make him more comfortable fighting here tonight. Here's a replay. Alain have him against the ropes, and then Edward Allen Hall coming back with the sneaky little right hand. So Alain has to be careful. As soon as he's done his punches, either get down and get out, or turn to the side.
That was the best punch of the round. An uneventful round.
Yeah, pretty uneventful. Alain being the pursuer, being the aggressor, I'd give him the round. But Edward Allen Hall, sneaky puncher.
Round 2 underway. Again, Bonnamie forcing the issue. Hall, pretty good counter puncher.
I think Bonnamie's got to throw a jab a little bit quicker. He's standing there, sort of waiting on it. I think he's got to get that jab out right there. Maybe feint a little bit more, but needs to stick that jab in Hall's face.
Pushed Hall into the ropes. Hall hoping to land some body shots, but Hall covered up nicely.
Covered up nicely, and maybe Alain got a little bit too close to him right there. He needs to give himself room to punch, like Hercavelos, Russ Ambrose Tongue. He needs to give himself some room so he can let his punches down, have the optimum power on his punches.
And Alain also has to land a triple combination once in a while to keep his opponent honest.
Especially at this weight class, you need to throw more than 1 or 2 punches, and Alain's definitely capable of doing that.
Good left hand there by Bonnamie sent Hall back towards the ropes. It wasn't a devastating shot. I think it caught Hall a bit off balance, but nevertheless
But a solid left jab, and that's what he needs to throw.
Hall comes back, a couple of jabs of his own. Bonnamie misses over the top as Hall went down, and a good move there by Hall defensively. But again, Bonnamie is cutting the ring to his advantage.
Let's see, he cuts off the ring. He got Hall against the ropes, waited. Hall stepped forward, moved to the side. Alain let him out without hitting him with anything after backing him up to the ropes. This is where he's got to take advantage. That's where he wants Hall. He's backed him up there, and now he's got to take advantage of it.
They want speed in his combinations.
I would like to see a jab down his body, right hand over top with the left hook. You need those combinations. You hear it from Alain Bonnamie's corner too. He needs to throw the combinations to be effective.
Body shots there by Bonnamie in the corner, the far corner. That would be Hall's corner.
Nice right hand, left hook to the body.
This definitely is Alain Bonnamie's best round of the fight. Second.
Yeah, he's starting to throw some powerful punches with some meaning behind them.
At the end of this round, we'll be joined by our ringside judge, Guy Jutra, who will tally the scores from rounds number 1 and 2. Good body shot there to the ribs on Hall from Bonnamie. Another good body shot, left hand.
Working the body very nice right now is Alain Bonnamie.
Round number 2 of 10 into the books here at the Molson Center. And we are joined by Guy Jutra, who has watched this fight closely as we head towards round number 3. Guy?
Yes, Dino, I think the first round, Bonnamie let it slip away from him by a very slim margin, just about an eyelash. There wasn't all that much action, so we have to give it to someone. I give it to Hall. The second one, however, Alain left no doubt about it. This one is a 10-9, so we got an even fight on my card up to now. Back to you, Dino.
Thank you very much, Guy Jutra, our ringside judge. There may be a cut above the eye of Edward Allen Hall as they are working on what appears to be a cut. Take a closer look when this round gets underway. I see some swelling. Yes, there is a cut.
It's
a bad place.
Bad place, and it's a very decent cut.
This may change the fight plan of Edward Allen Hall. He may be a little more aggressive. Right there, he gets tagged with a pretty good right hand on the part of Alain Bonnamie.
Alain might have Hall thinking about that cut a little too much, and he snuck in a very nice right hand there with the left hook to follow it.
Good combination there on the ball. Come back.
Alain's got to keep that jab out there.
Bonnamie splattered with blood. Is he bleeding from the top of his head?
From the top of his head. They must have butted heads and caught Hall with the top of Alain's head.
That's a big cut on the side of the head of Alain Bonnamie, and they're going to call the fight doctor over.
There's a lot of blood coming out of that cut right now.
Oh, my. They're going to continue this fight, but for how long?
But again, it's on the back of the head. It's not going to get into the eyes. It may be give him a chance. Let Bob Miller try to stop it in the corner.
So both of these fighters have been cut. Hall, top of his left eye. Bonnamie, side of his head. Sitting right next to us, 2 seats down, is Bob Miller as we are in Bonnamie's corner, and he's getting ready for the end of this round so that he can treat his fighter, Alain Bonnamie, and I assume they're doing the same in Hall's corner.
And Hall coming on right now. He's throwing a lot of punches and bunches, and Alain's not throwing back right now. He needs to get back to that jab and finish up with the right hand.
Alain seems to be distracted by that cut.
And I think he's loading up a little bit too much right now. He's trying to take Hall out with 1-2 punches. He needs to throw punches. More combinations by Bonnamie.
Good combination, but Alain Bonnamie is bleeding badly right now.
That's a very bad cut on the top of the head. I can't see how bad it is because there's so much blood around there, Dino, right now.
1 minute to go in this round, and it's very important for Alain Bonnamie to make it back into his corner to see, or at least to have his corner look at that cut and how they can stop that bleeding. You can't see how deep that cut is because, of course, Alain Bonnamie doesn't sport a shaved head. They'll get a closer look in the corner as Hall continues his assault, and this by far is the best round by Hall, and he started very slowly in this round, but came on and continues to do so.
I think that cut's definitely on Alan's mind. He hasn't fought the same since he's come to the corner and the doctors checked that cut.
You're absolutely right, Dale.
Here he comes with a big right hand. Now he needs to step back and not let Hall. Hall's legs are a little bit weary right now.
think as a fighter, you see all that blood and you think to yourself, where's it coming from? And you can't see it because it's the side of the head. And you're a little concerned and distracted for a while. The fans get into it. Bonnamie, they chant. And Bonnamie heads to the corner. And the corner people jump out. Bob Miller is the cut man here. Going to see if we can take a close look here.
Again, it's hard. We're not at the right angle right now, but it looks like a pretty bad cut from up here, Dino.
Good left hand there on the part of Hall.
And that's where I think Alain's trying to load up a little bit too much. He's coming in with his hands wide open, and Hall just throws a straight punch down the middle, and it's catching Alain.
With both fighters cut here, I think we'll see a lot of bombs here on in. Both of them want this to end quickly. And you see, that's a pretty deep cut. That's a very deep cut.
I think it's a very deep cut as well, Dino. You can't see it too much because of Bob Miller's finger. But they've been clashing heads a lot, so I'm wondering if that was a clash of the heads. It looked like he tried to grab his head there, so I'm not too sure if that was the moment when it got cut.
Rarely does a punch create damage at that part of the body.
I'm thinking it had to have been a clash of heads where maybe Hall got cut on the eye and Alain Bonnamie got cut on the back of the head.
Aggressor here early in this round. Now he
can't stay there
that's right.
and put his hands down. He needs to stick the jab and do what he did. Back Hall up to the ropes, work that body.
They want Alain Bonnamie to throw a punch and then move to his right as quickly as possible. Not coming from the corner of Bonnamie.
They want him to do that, so he slips outside of Hall's left hand and counters with that right hand, come back with the left hook.
Now comes back with a flurry. Lands with an uppercut. So far, both fighters, it looks like the cuts have been closed for the moment.
I think both cut men in both corners have done a very good job. You don't see the blood that you did in the previous round.
Good left hand by Bonnamie.
Again, a great left hook, but he's got to punch after it. If he's throwing a right hand left hook after that punch, this fight could be over.
You don't want to admire that first punch too long.
No, never admire your work without being too careful.
Good left hand there. There's a situation where Bonnamie landed with a right and came back with a left.
And good defense. Hands are up, slipped underneath the left hook, tried to spin to the right and throw the left hook, was just a little bit short on it, but the effort was there.
Coming up after this round, we'll talk with our ringside judge, Guy Jutrell. We'll ask him about his scoring of the fight, but also the cuts. Guy has been involved in quite a few fights featuring cuts, and we'll ask him about those two cuts. The one above the eye of Hall and the one to the side of the head of Bonnamie. Right now, I think Bonamie's bleeding from the nose as well. Right nostril. It's been a terrific fight card tonight.
I can't believe how well these fights, all of them, have been matched up this evening. Interbox has done a great job of matching these fights this evening.
Only one fight has ended in a TKO. That's Jean-Francois Bergeron, and it happened in the final round number 4 against Mark Johnson. The rest have gone to decision. I think it's unlikely this one will go to decision.
These guys are throwing punches with bad intentions. Alain just can't sit there and let Hall throw flurries of punches. He may not be hurting him, but it's impressing the judges and it's scoring points.
Bonnamie's best punch may have come when the ring of the bell took place. As again, they work on the side of the head of Bonnamie, and now they have to work on his nose too. As we check in with the corner of Alain Bonnamie. Before we get to the scoring, Guy, talk to us about the cuts. I know you've been in this situation before. Side of the head for Alain Bonnamie, top of the eye for Hall.
Well, in effect, today we're going according to the rules of the Régie de la Sécurité here in Montreal, as opposed to, Régie des alcools in the jeux, which is, in effect, doesn't penalize the one that caused the accidental cut. In other sections, such as in the United States, WBA, WBC, they penalize the fighter who is not cut, even though the cut may have been, in fact, actually caused by the one who received it. But in this particular case, there's no penalty whatsoever, and they just go. I gave the last round, by the way, to Hall by an eyelash, and I've got an even fight right now, right up to now, but 38-38.
Thank you very much, Guy Jutra, ringside judge. This fight continues here in Montreal as both corners very busy during that break. Bonnamie.
That's all right to see. Nice sharp jab. Wait for the counter. Nice. And then the combinations after. Obviously, Stefan LaRouche in his corner is sat back and said, okay, you need to throw more punches and bunches, and Alain is listening.
Alain Bonnamie very focused out there. Round 5 of 10 here. Combination by Hall. Bonnamie looking for the uppercut with the right hand, but couldn't land it. He goes over the top and then lands with a short left.
Nice strong left hook by Alain. And the left hook again. A 1-2 and then a 1-2-3 combination. This is how he should be fighting the fight. From the outside and then punches and bunches.
You want Bonnamie to move to his right and then land the left hook, which he's done in this round.
Yes, he has.
Crowd starts up here at the Molson Center chanting Alain.
But as soon as Alain Bonnamie starts moving, Hall's not as effective. He's not throwing those little flurries and looking good. Alain's keeping him away and boxing smart right now.
Good defense there on the part of Hall. Edward Allen Hall, a record of 26-15-2. Bonnamie at 17-8-3. Big highlight in Bonnamie's career, of course, knocking off Dave Hilton for Hilton, his only loss. Have to go back to the year 1990. Good right hand by Bonnamie. Hall comes right back.
This guy's definitely durable, you know. He gets hit with a big shot, and then Alain thinks, oh yeah, I hit him with a really good shot, and then right back comes Hall with either a right hand or a left hook. Oh, big right hand. Big right hand. I heard that from up here. That one hurt Hall. Alain needs to get some room, step back, and take it.
Crivello breaks them up. Will Bonnamie continue here? Hall comes right back. And a good left hand by Bonnamie. Another left hand. All up against the ropes. In close. And Crivello breaks them again.
Hall might have been expecting a head shot there or something like that, right down to the body. If he's going to expect the head, go down to where he doesn't expect the punch to go.
Again, Bob Miller works on the cut. One to the side of the head. Cut to the nose or the bleeding nose. Really not much of a concern. It's the one to the side of the head. If it's deep enough, then you lose way too much blood for your own good.
That was a nice right hand by Alain Bonnamie. He stepped in really nice with the jab, came in with a straight, hard right hand. And right here, I would like to have seen some body work, but he's pushing him against the rope. Hall tied him up smartly because he was hurt. And there's the right hand from a different angle. It was a beautiful right hand. A strong left hook after it or down to the body would have been nice. A body shot in there, maybe Alain would be wise to throw. But that was a very nice right hand.
Power punches being exchanged in that round. It's a big cut. I'd say about 1.5 inches.
It's a very large cut that Alain got.
Round 6 underway. See if Bonnamie can follow up here in this round where he left off in the last.
Just nice and smart. He wants to go back to that 5th round, using that jab, throwing that nice straight right hand, and he's using the jab very nice here, and there it is, right there.
Beautiful. The right hand was just great, and he followed up with a terrific left hand. Both found the mark.
He's fighting very well. He's moving around. He's showing us that he has some boxing skills, and he's learning.
If you were to see films of Alain Bonnamie's first few fights and then watch tonight's fight, you would not realize that this is the same fighter, or the same individual. He's certainly not the same fighter.
I think Interbox has given Alain Bonnamie the opportunity to learn this sport and become very good at it. As you see tonight, he's fighting a very smart fight in this round.
Bonnamie wants to win. The reason he's in the ring right here, against Edward Allen Hall, is to go up against Joe Kozaki, the WBO champion. Because if Bonnamie does win, that will happen next. Kozaki at 27-0.
And that's what every fighter's waiting for. You want that world title, so he wants to win here, and he wants to win impressively, so he can get that world title shot after this one.
Good right hand there by Hall. Remember, Guy Jutra had the fight even. Check in with him, see if the situation has changed. Nothing, though. Bonnamie has been very effective in the last 2 rounds.
Very effective. Fighting smart. He's getting a little lazy here. Maybe you see a bit of a fatigue. This is what I don't like him doing, laying on the ropes and letting Hull take little cheap pot shots here.
He turned the situation around quickly, didn't he?
He turned around very good, but threw 2 very hard punches. But when he was effective, he was throwing 3-4 punches in combination, and that's when he's really effective.
Bonnamie jabbing with the left, trying to connect with the right. His opponent tells him to go for the uppercut. Tried it. It's blocked by Hall.
I'd like to see what they were talking about previously. Him stepping to his right, throwing that left hook right hand, and then keep going to your right.
What they want him to do, Bonnamie's corner that is throw a right uppercut and then deliver the left hand.
You want him slipping underneath of Hall's jab, throwing the right uppercut, come back with the hook, step over to your right, and throw the right hand again.
Good left hand by Bonnamie on Hall. Very end here, round number 6 of 10 between Alain Bonnamie and Edward Allen Hall. We are joined by Guy Jutra, our ringside judge. Guy?
Yes, Dino, the last round I gave it to again to Bonnamie because the power punches were landed by Bonnamie. I don't know if the official judges see what I'm seeing, but I see Bonnamie like stopping most of the punches, the power punches that are sent by Hall, land on Bonnamie's gloves. So considering that you can only count the ones that really land flush, I gave that round to Bonnamie. I'm up to 58 to 56 now for Bonnamie.
Guy, how big is that cut, and would it stop a fight on Bonnamie?
Frankly, I don't think that the cut is severe enough to be for the fight to be stopped. They've got an excellent corner man there in Bob Miller, and frankly, I don't see that cut to be out of control. So I think they'll let it go till the end of the fight. I don't see that a problem at all.
Thank you very much, Guy Jutra. Dino Sisto alongside Dale Brown, and this is a 10-rounder super middleweight division. Hall in the green trunks, Bonnamie in black. The tattoo on the right shoulder. Power punches do not match the ones we saw between Trevor Berbick and Alain Barkley, but nevertheless, there have been quite a few in this fight.
Yeah, for their weight class, they're throwing some pretty hard shots in there, Dino, and Alain Bonnamie definitely getting the better of Edward Allen Hall with those shots.
Bonnamie misses with a combination. Hall showing a lot of patience here. Maybe one of the mistakes by Hall so far has been his inability to simply outbox Alain Bonnamie.
Yeah, I agree, and it's also the power thing too. Edward Allen Hall throwing a lot of punches, catching Alain Bonnamie here and there with a few big shots, but Alain's throwing the bigger punches and backing Hall up. Hall has more respect for Alain than Alain does for Hall.
Alain slips into a punch from Edward. Gets Hall away with a series of jabs.
Very good, very good. Keeps him away, and then again, same series, throw 1, 2, 3 jabs, finish with the right hand. He won't be expecting it.
This little jab by Hall. He did not read it correctly and wasn't tagged devastatingly, but nevertheless, his head snapped back.
Edward Hall, a veteran of 43 fights, he's been in that ring a few times. He knows his way around and he knows what to do.
Terrific job by Bob Miller in the corner to control that cut on the side of the head of Bonnamie and allow him to continue his fight plan.
Yeah, very good job by Bob Miller. That's why Interboxing's got him. He's probably one of the best in his profession.
And Alain Bonnamie just landed a pretty good right hand. Good uppercut there as well. This is round 7 of 10, under 30 seconds to go.
Almost the same thing in this fight, dude. We saw Alain Bonnamie work the body very well in the earlier rounds as Cavelos did, but now they've forgotten about it. They're head hunting a little bit. I'd like to see him go back down.
Well, Bonnamie throughout his career has been a head hunter.
It's true. He's a brawler. He's a very tough guy. He wants to give the fans that excitement, but now he's got to think. This is a pretty close fight. I better get out of here with the win, and if I go down to the body, it might help me do that.
As we check in with Edward Allen Hall and now Alain Bonnamie. In Bonnamie's corner, Stéphane LaRouche, Dave Pervin, Bob Miller. All surrounded here as we head towards round number 8. Pretty good crowd. About 4,000 strong here at the Molson Center.
They've been treated to a very good card tonight, Dino.
Most of them will be back in September. Last words belong to Abe Pervin. And number 8 is underway. Fighters are tired, they're not showing.
No, they're still very fed, throwing a lot of punches. 8th round, they've got 2 more rounds to go. But Alain very busy keeping the jab out.
Bonnamie perhaps not the most laterally gifted fighter in the world, but he has moved laterally tonight.
No, he's fought a very smart fight tonight. I think he's boxed when he has to. Right there, that's great. He made him miss twice. He caught him with about 5 punches unanswered, and that just goes from his bicycle. He's slipping in and out.
That cut again at the side of the head of Alain Bonnamie is opened up. And you see blood trickling down the side of the head, down his right ear, and towards his neck. As Hall misses wildly with a left shot.
Alain has to be careful not to go straight back when Hall's throwing like that. He might get caught a little bit off balance, and even if you're off balance, you get caught with a shot, it's still a knockout.
Good punches being exchanged here.
That was a nice right hand by Alain Bonnamie to the body. He came around wide and scored right underneath the ribs.
Hall very active, throwing a lot of punches. Not many with power, though, in this round, but nevertheless, moving the gloves, pressing the judges.
He's still scoring in there, you know. He may not be throwing the harder shots because obviously Alain Bonnamie is throwing the harder shots, but he's staying busy right now.
For a fighter, you want to be especially sharp seconds to go in the round. Keep those judges' minds.
This is when Alain wants to, he's got to have in the back of his mind, getting close to the end of the round. This is where he's got to steal the round. Go out with a flurry and try to steal this round from Hall.
30 seconds to go in round 8 of 10. One to call here between Alain Bonnamie and Edward Allen Hall. The last time we checked in with Guy Jutra had Bonnamie up. Is that still the same situation?
Are you talking to me, Dino?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, okay. Well, the last round again, I see Hall throwing a lot of punches, but most of them are landing on gloves. And you, of course, unfortunately for Hall, you can't count those at all. The power punches are thrown by Bonnamie, and he's landed a few of them in every round. And that's why I've got him ahead by 78 to 74 points at the end of 8 rounds.
Thank you very much, Guy Jutra. Our ringside judge, we're joined again by Darryl Brown as we check in with Hall and his corner people. They have to be looking for the knockout here with 2 rounds to go.
Yeah, I think they were happy with that round with Hall, though, because he was very busy. I thought it was a very close round. It could have even been a draw, I thought, but he's got to keep that kind of intensity throughout the rest of the fight.
Bonnamie, left hand. Trying to find a gap in between the gloves. Does twice here. Hall again hits the gloves of Bonnamie. Good left hand by Bonnamie.
Just missed the right hand, but then he came back with the left hook. A very good combination.
Bonnamie again.
He's got to keep moving side to side, throw the jab, keep Hall up
and stay in the corner, absorb some punishment, so Bonnamie decided to spin and find his way towards the middle of the ring, and that has been a better situation for him this night.
It's much more effective when he's in the middle of the round, moving his head, giving feints, sticking that jab in Hall's face. Hall doesn't know quite what to do. He's better when Alain's back is against the rope, and that's when he's busy.
Bonnamie has to find a way to get Hall towards the ropes, and then when he gets him there, distance himself from Hall so that he can land some quality power shots. That was a good body shot on the part of Bonnamie.
Very good body shot. You saw he wanted to throw that right hand. Very nice right hand by Alain Bonnamie.
Late in the fight, a punch like that usually gets your opponent into a whole lot of trouble. It didn't happen there, though. You have to wonder how much is left in Alain Bonnamie's punches here in round 9. Good uppercut there by Bonnamie.
Alain Bonnamie looks like he might be a little bit weary here after letting go of that combination. Edward Allen Hall is definitely a very strong fighter.
Just 47 seconds to go here in the 9th round, 9 of 10. Super middleweight division, 10 rounder.
Hall will just not stop coming. This guy is a very durable fighter. Keeps pushing Alain Bonnamie to the brink.
Hall looking for the knockout punch late in this round. So is Bonnamie, as a matter of fact. Why take a chance?
They both landed some big shots this round. It's a very entertaining round. Very nice combination. A very good effort from Alain Bonnamie. Now he's putting punches together. 3-4 punches. Hitting with the jab, moving to his right, throwing the left hook, right hand. That's what he needs to do.
One more round coming up here. last bout of the night between Alain Bonnamie and Edward Allen Hall. We told you it was going to be an interesting fight, a close one, and the fighters have not disappointed us. Just to recap some of the other fights, Jean-François Bergeron beat Mark Johnson. TKO 123 of the fourth round. Fatih Moussaoui, a unanimous decision. 6-rounder over John Lockett. Hercules Cavallos, an 8-round unanimous decision over Gilberto Tigre Flores. And Trevor Berbick, an 8-round unanimous decision over Alain Barkley. Here, Alain Bonnamie, according to our ringside judge, Guy Jutra, leads Edward Allen Hall, and this is the final round. Throws the first two left hooks of this fight. Good body shot there on the part of Bonnamie.
Very good body shot. Now you see he's using his head. He knows what he's doing. He's moving around, throwing the jab, and then lets a bomb go to the body.
Fans get into it, chanting Alain. Bonnamie has been unable, as Hall is off balance here, but regains his composure by throwing a couple of left hands to keep his opponent away.
He caught Allen a little off guard too. He thought that he had maybe Hall hurt a little bit, and all of a sudden Hall came back, like he did there with a big right hand. Allen, this fight's still on hold. He's got to be a little bit careful. He's fully in control, but you've got to be careful.
Now, Alain Bonnamie, unable to get Edward Allen Hall up against the ropes, has hurt him late in this fight. Not to say Hall is leading the fight, but nevertheless, it would have been a lot easier for Alain Bonnamie. And of course, Bob Miller is very responsible for this fight continuing.
Yeah, he's done a great job on that cut on the head, because when it first happened, as we saw it down here, Dino, it was bleeding profusely.
Yes, it was. Good right hand on the part of Hall. Big punch you want to stay away from if you're Alain Bonnamie and in the lead.
Especially with a minute 20 left in the last round. You want to stay away from those types of punches. He wants to get on his bike and get moving with that jab.
Bonnamie misses wildly. 70 seconds to go here in the final round.
Showtime, Sensei! Showtime! Let's go! Very nice. A little jab, step back in with the jab. Now that's controlling the ring. It's controlling the pace.
Left hand by Bonnamie.
He's got to throw a right hand behind it, though, Dino. He's got to throw more punches, and that's what it comes into. We got 40 seconds left in the last round. He wants to show these judges that he's controlling it. He's the winner of this fight, and go out on a good note.
Corner wants Alain Bonnamie to keep his distance. They must feel that they're ahead in this fight. And they are. And that's to take nothing away from Edward Allen Hall. Under 15 seconds to go. Neither fighter has been down on the canvas during this fight. It's been just a very entertaining slugfest between the two. Good left hand by Bonnamie. Hall tries to come back. What a fight! What a fight!
Very good fight.
It will go to decision. And the judges are Sylvain Leblanc, Emilien Nadeau, and Jerry Simpson. And as we take a look at Alain Bonnamie in his corner, Bob Miller takes a look at him.
This is why you get the best in your corners come in. You know, they become very important if there happens to be a cut.
Once again, Jean-François Bergeron, TKO, fourth round, 123. He was the winner over Mark Johnson. Fatih Moussaoui, 6-round unanimous decision over John Lockett. in the welterweight division, Hercules Cavellos 8-round decision over Gilberto Tiger Flores, and that fight dedicated to his good friend Otis Grant. Trevor Berbick, 8-round decision over Iran Barkley, and here Alain Bonnamie and Edward Allen Hall have gone the distance all 10 rounds in this super middleweight division fight, and we are awaiting the decision. That fight just breezed by.
It did. It was a very exciting fight. The rounds just seemed to fly by because these guys did non-stop punching.
Bob Mueller still working with Alain Bonnamie. We head straight to the Canadians Clinic here and stitch up. Now, Bonnamie moves over towards Edward Allen Hall's corner. Bonamie's corner very confident that their fighter has won this fight.
Yeah, I think they're happy with Alain's performance since he hasn't been in the ring, again, since December 12th, 98. So it's been a while for him. I think he felt a bit of the ring rust tonight, and I pulled it out in a very good performance tonight against a wily veteran like Edward Allen Hall.
Dale, give us your itinerary for the next couple of weeks before Christian Tétrault is ready to give us the announcement.
I'm back in the gym now, solid, and we're looking at a fight on September 10th or possibly August 23rd to defend my title again against Courtney Butler, the #1 in the NABF. So for the next couple of weeks, we're just going to get in the gym and we're going to get back in shape.
Well, it's been a pleasure working with you. We'd rather see you inside the ring than outside, but when you're outside, it's great that you're with us.
Voici la décision. Le juge Leblanc donne 99-91. Judge Leblanc scores it 99-91. Le juge Nadeau donne 98-92. Judge Nadeau scores it 98-92. Le juge Simpson donne 97-93. Judge Simpson scores it 97-93. Le gagnant par décision unanime, the winner by unanimous decision, Alain Bonnamie.
Our judge, Guy Jutra, had it 98-92, Alain Bonnamie.
This is why I do not ref or judge fights. I had it a little bit closer, I thought.
Edward Allen Hall, a little upset, just stormed off the ring, and Alain Bonnamie improves to 18-8-3. Hall falls to 26-16-2. Thank you very much, Dell, for being with us.
Thank you, Dino. My pleasure.
And thank you for joining us on this Viewer's Choice Boxing Night, brought to you by Video Wave. For Guy Jutra, Charles-Andre Marchand, and Dale Brown, I'm Dino Sisto, bidding you a pleasant good night from the Molson Center here in Montreal.